Is it only you voodoo viewers that's pissed off with hearing the news and everybody on the, well, all the media talking heads and the legacy MSN people keep telling us what we should or shouldn't think? Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, it's peeving me off no end, I can tell you, because I think what I want to think and nobody's going to tell me what not to think and what to think. Partygate. I'm back here again with Partygate. And if I turn on my tablet one more time and hear GB News, legacy media talking heads turning around and saying, "Ah, we're so bored of Partygate, we're so over Partygate." Let me walk you through it. This is the Partygate where they were so drunk that they were throwing up in number 10, arguing and having fights. And they actually broke a kid's swing. Though why they'd have a kid's swing there, I do not know. Probably for Dominic Cummings, keep him happy, probably. But anyway, they broke a kid's swing. And before you say anything, oh, what's his name's kids weren't old enough to have a swing. So at the time, one was inside her and one was being breastfed. So quite why they had this swing there, nobody will ever know. Just sounds a bit kinky to me, voodoo verse. But anyway, yes, oh yeah, we're so over it, they keep saying. And I keep wondering how much they're getting paid to trot out that old shit. Because I really do object to being told what to think. You may be over it, but I'm not over it. And I'm sure there's many people out there that aren't over it. And I'll tell you who else ain't over it. All the dead children. The children that died, which I'm on here again banging on about, and I shouldn't have to keep going on about it. It should be the most foremost reason that this is never allowed to happen again. Even on, was it Tuesday, Wednesday, some bloke that murdered his kid during lockdown, another kid that was murdered during lockdown, was given 24 blooming years, 24 years. He should have been given 24 life sentences, not 24 bloody years, what he did to that child. All under the auspices of lockdown, and everybody was too scared to go out and get a cold, and one thing and another, and Boris and that were so pissed up at the party and doing whatever else they do at the party, and come election time they're all eager to brag about, which is a bit of sniff and anything else they can get their snouts into. They didn't care about all the children on the at-risk register. They didn't care about all the autistic kiddies and all the disabled kids. They didn't care about any of that. And that to me is the most objectionable part of it all. Apart from the fact anyone could have predicted what they were doing. You've been around politicians enough, you know. And the other thing I need to bring up is how it came out that cleaners at 10 Downing Street, you know, the menial staff, were all booed and hissed and put down and had the piss took out of them for saying to the politicians and their little minions, "Oh, should you be really doing this?" And they were actually quartered and told to shut up because these people, it was like Animal Farm. You know the scene at the end where the animals all look through the window and they see all the pigs in there wearing the farmers' blimmin' clothes and drinking the farmers' whiskey and smoking the farmers' cigars whilst playing poker. It's like a scene from that. That's what it was really like going on up there. There's one rule for us little minions out here, and you've got to remember, in England, that summer was one of the hottest summers we've ever had. So was that by a plan, or wasn't it a plan? Because I do not know what was going on. And now we're all being told by the legacy media, "Oh, we're so bored of it, we're so bored of it." I'm bored of hearing you tell me that you're bored. I don't care whether you're bored. I'm not bored of it. And I will never ever stop talking about it. No matter how much YouTube tries to shut me up, I will never stop talking about all the children. The only reason I don't say their names on here is because it's not my place to go around saying, deceased children's names. But actually, as I'm saying this to you, I'm shaking, I'm so cross. And how dare they? And the only person is old Julia Hartley Brewery, whatever her name is, on the talk radio. She's the only one that's come out and said anything half sane. It's about time that the brutalising of children in a civilised country is stopped. And to start with, it should be stopped at the top. And I'll tell you another thing. Who was it told me that a tree rots from the top, isn't it? Or something I was told? Yeah, and at the top of that tree in Downing Street is that mug, that muppet. And then we're told, oh, well, if we got rid of him, who would we get? You could get a bit of roadkill that would be more effective than that muppet. Bloody bunch of idiots. Stop telling us to stop blimmin' talking about Partygate. It's up to us what we talk about, and it's up to us what we think. And no amount of GB News bending over and taking it up the arse, right, is going to shut me up. I'm pissed off, and I'm never going to stop talking about what happened to those children and all the at-risk children. A lot of them weren't murdered. Enough of them were. There's so many kids out there that are brutalised and tormented and tortured all through that lockdown, and literally crickets, because they were too busy having bloody parties. And with all the powers they had, not one of them could come up with the idea of maybe checking on these children or putting in some sort of protocol that they could check these children are fine. Makes me bloody sick. And it's a shame they didn't really choke on their vomit when they were throwing up all over Downing Street. And before people say anything about it, oh, it's just the way they behave. Can you imagine anybody behaving like that when Mrs. Thatcher was in Downing Street? No, nor can I. That's all I'm saying.